All right, let's continue our little figure. Okay. All right, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of bring this head down like this. Now we want this in here to kind of, that's it, kind of see where it kind of comes up like that, in other words. And we're going to bring this all down like this. Be careful, cautious, as I like to say, cautious. You saw I broke an ear the other day, so these ears are very, very thin, so you want to be careful not to get too rambunctious, as we might say. I use the word rambunctious a lot because I heard it as a child so much. Daddy used to use it so much. Rambunctious simply means excited. Get too excited, overly excited, and carvers need to understand that the key to any kind of carving is control, and most carvers will tell you that have been carving for a long time. I would rather you know how to control your knife and not produce the greatest pieces in the world at first than be reckless and end up hurting yourself more than anything in the world, in other words. Okay, I think that's about all I want to do right there. This face is, now let me come a little bit. Because of the simple fact that I don't want you to hurt yourself. And believe me, that's why I won't put a knife in a young person's hand too quick, because once you cut yourself real bad, you may never go back to carving. You know, it makes people scared. I remember I had a Matthew, my son, as a little bitty baby, was out in the yard, and I was out there with him. And I don't know what caused this dog across the street. I think he just wanted to play with Matt. And he didn't realize, of course, that Matthew was just a little, probably was about 1 year old. And this dog came strictly across the street. I mean, he came across the street and just jumped on Matt, and started, wanting to play. And Matt was scared of dogs for a long, long time, in other words, and now he's fine. But of course, he's 30 years old now. But that can have an effect on people, it just does. So, and it's the same thing with carving. If you don't learn to control the knife, and you cut yourself badly, end up in an emergency room or something like that, your chances of probably going back to carving, unless you just love it, are very slim. So, and usually that doesn't happen unless people have trouble controlling their knives. Okay. I've been carving for 27 years and I've never been to the hospital because of it. I went to the hospital because of a bandsaw one time. That wasn't too great. Okay. All right. Let's get off this. All right. This is what we're going to do now. Okay. Let's go ahead and, before we go any further, sorry, I just want to take the marks off of the. Let's go ahead and do the eyes right in here. Okay. just going to kind of do this. And I'm going to come under here and do this. And the same way over here. Just cut a line underneath here. Cut a line over the top. I'm sorry. And then I just sort of cut up underneath there. On the eyes, and I just kind of come underneath here. And then I want to bring this forward just a little bit. Okay. Now, a lot of people, what I'm going to just go ahead and do, I'm just going to add a little nose in here. Now you can actually go forward with, and I'm going to go all the way to the bottom here. No, I don't want to go all the way to the bottom because I want to. And I want to make it real thin. Now you can do this any way you want to, in other words. The eyes. I'll cut a little bit deeper in there, of course. Bring that out. That's awful small in there. Get that out of there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to kind of come over there. I need to make that face just a little bit small. There we go, like that. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and cut because it's a small piece. Just go ahead and cut those eyes in there just like this, because it's such a small piece. It's really hard to get in there and get to those areas. There we go. Just like that. See where you put the little eyes in there? Back there we go. See that? Put the little eyes in there. And we'll kind of dig in here. On these real small pieces, I try to make it as simple as possible, because you're really getting into some small areas in here with the tip of the knife. There we go. Now that looks good. And then we're just going to kind of, from there, we're just going to kind of do this little cut over here. Cut over here for the little. There we are. And then we kind of cut. It kind of, on a cat, it kind of comes. There you go. Kind of comes up like this. Kind of comes up like this. Purse. There we go. And get it. There we are. Look at that. See? Look at that, see? Let me bring this back just a little bit. There we go. See that? And let's just kind of, there we go. Look at that. Okay. Okay, look at that. See? Okay, I'm gonna get my I'm gonna get my small gouge this time instead of my B tool. I got a little tiny gouge. This is my small gouge. Oh shoot. Oh boy. Yeah, it's getting to where even just sitting like this for long periods of time. It's getting to me. Alright. Once again, we put our hand against this thing. And we start taking. That's to keep it from breaking, because those areas are small. Same thing here. Put your finger against it for strength. So when you push on your gouge, you won't. And people say, "Oh well, that my gouge is sharp enough." That had nothing to do with sharpness. It has to do with the fact that those are thin areas in there. There we go. And let's just kind of point those ears up a little bit more. And look at that. That cute? I'm going to do a dog like this too. This is a cute way to do animals. A long neck. Of course it's exaggerated. Of course it is. Let me wet him. But that's okay. You can exaggerate and be fine. You can take this pattern, I'm going to show you how you do that. You can take this pattern and make many, many different types of animals with it. In other words, here's the little cat. 3 inches high is all. Isn't that cute? Okay. Well, God bless you now. And be careful. Take care and everything else. God bless. Bye-bye.